throw the ball more? Or?
Well, I think the turnovers were costly, and that probably challenged them a little bit. And then the score, I think that once it kind of got out of a big spread there, I don't think they wanted to have more mistakes, because they were kind of uphill a little bit, and then I think that our coverage was tremendous. I mean, and then again, two of their best players out. Guys that have played a lot of snaps for them, and so now you got some new guys in there. They've played some, but not like those other guys.
Coach, you mentioned the consistency of this year's group, and really when you think about it, the last couple of years it's been so consistent, 21 straight wins in the ACC. It's a streak you don't really see in Power 5 conferences. What are the moments that stand out over these 2 8-0 seasons you put together back-to-back, and how proud are you of being able to achieve this goal?
Just hard to win. I think just starting over every week, respecting the process, understanding that you can't, there's no shortcuts. You've got to pay the price every week. You've got to put the work in, and creating that in our culture and our DNA. It's really hard to win, and you see it every week in college football. Teams that aren't supposed to beat somebody beat somebody. And so a lot of big moments in that streak, a lot of big moments. We've had a few close games, obviously the Syracuse game last year, 4th and 6, and making that play to give us a chance to go on and score and win the game. But a lot of big moments. Kayvon Wallace at Texas A&M, punching the ball out, and great extra effort right there. Those are a couple close games. Obviously North Carolina stopping the 2-point conversion, but they're all huge. It's just amazing. It really is, and the credit goes to the players because they've got to because it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get complacent. It's easy to think that, oh well, we got this. This is easy, but that's just not part of who we are. These guys, they just love to start over and get ready. The joy is in the opportunity to go win again. And I think that's a unique quality. And I think that's a characteristic of teams that have a high level of consistency. They get more excited. They're more excited about the opportunity to go do it again than what just happened. And I think that's just a part of our DNA.
Dabo, you mentioned the senior class and their accomplishments. When you look back over these 2 past senior classes that you had, and the way they keep raising the bar and setting the example for the classes coming up next, what was your message to those guys as you guys got in the locker room after the game?
I just told them I loved them, and just really thankful for them, and amazing journey, and they've made us better, and the group before them gave them the opportunity and the momentum to go and build upon and do something like they've done, and now they've handed that torch to next year's team when they come back and play here in Death Valley, and it's be kind of a neat thing for them to build upon. We just talked about who they were as people. What they've done on the football field is amazing, but who they are as young men, what they represent, the example that they set to everybody in that locker room. For me, it's a joy to have a front row seat to see that maturation process take place, and to see these guys go from these high school guys to really grown men that are so invested. They're just unbelievably invested in what we do and believe in what we do. It's a special group. I mean, to sit in on my leadership meetings on Mondays and Fridays with these guys, and just, and to listen to what they say, and to get the council notes from them every week, and just what their mindset is. I mean, these are some great leaders, and it's a product of our program and everything that goes into it throughout their Paul journey. But you got to buy in, and you got to go do it. And these guys have done it. And going to be graduates here. Some of them are graduated already, but they're going to be graduating here pretty soon here in December. And they're well prepared for whatever's going to come next. But we still got some more ball in front of us. And we talked about finishing. Making sure that we finish well. We finished here at home well. So now the rest of the way we'll be away from home, and let's regroup and set our sights on finishing at the very best we can.
With Ross and Rogers out of the game, how good was it to see those two freshmen come in and score touchdowns?
Yeah.
I guess you don't even consider them freshmen anymore at this point.
No, those guys have played 11 games, and great to see Frank, have a big play for a touchdown, and then obviously Joe came back and had a big one as well, and then Overton was awesome. We were in a little bit of a funk there for a couple series, and then all of a sudden Trevor does a great job of escaping a sack over on the left side on a third down, and throws and it was a tough catch by Overton. That was a huge play in the game. So DeAndre really stepped in, and I thought had another great game for us with Amari being out. He played a couple of different spots. He played our 9-man too. Just the depth that we've got there is really good at this stage. Because again, you look at Wake Forest, they lost two great players. All of a sudden you got a couple great players. You got Amari Rogers and Justin Ross out, and so to see those guys go in there and still make those type of plays, that's awesome. That's what they came here to do.
Dabo, Tua is out for the year. Alabama's announced. Just your thoughts on that, and what it was like going up against him.
Well, I hate to hear that, but he's one of the best competitors, one of the best young people in the game in college football. He's a great human being first. He's a great quarterback. I think he's a great teammate. I think he's an unbelievable competitor. Has a great heart, and you can just see his passion in the game and how he plays. So, obviously that's a big loss for them. It's a big loss for college football. He's a special player, and you love seeing a guy. You hate to play against him, but you have great respect for guys that do things the right way, and I think he's just the epitome of a winner, just a great winner, and I hate that for him, but I'm sure they've got great doctors or whatever, and he'll bounce back, and it won't be the last time you'll see Tua.
Since he's had a couple games back from his concussion, how is Xavier Thomas?
It's great. I thought he was awesome today. His speed just changes things, especially with their style of play. He's a problem. And so, he was a little rusty last week, but graded pretty well, but still just a little rusty, missing 3 games. And so I thought today he was really good and disruptive and, blew up the mesh point a few times and created some indecision and early decisions. So it's good to see him, kind of hitting his stride. And now, again, we got 2 weeks to get ready for the next one. Hopefully that'll really help us become a healthy football team.
Pretty sure I've never seen you hug anybody for the Walk of Champions there. Did you not know that Adam Humphries and D-Rob were going to be here?
Well, actually, Daniel Rodriguez, and I cannot believe, he's been gone since 2014. That was his last season. He spoke to the team yesterday. And I thought he was like, when were you here, 15, 16? He's like, Coach, I've been gone for 14. I'm like, holy cow. It's unbelievable. It's just 5 years since Daniel Rodriguez was here. I couldn't believe that. But he did an awesome job speaking to our team yesterday. And then I had heard that Adam was coming, but I hadn't seen him. And I saw Dexter. I was with Dexter last night. He came to the high school game and hung out with me. What a boring life he leads. He comes and hangs out with me on a high school game on Friday night, huh? It was a lot of fun with Dex. But I tell you, I was doing the Walk of Champions there, and my eyes locked with Adam Humphries. I didn't see Rodriguez; he's so little anyway. He was in the crowd, but I saw a Hump, and I'm like, and he saw me, and I was like, man, that's Hump. So it was pretty cool to get over there and hug his neck, and then I saw Daniel as well. So I saw Marcus Gilchrist today. Hadn't seen Gilly in a while. It's good to see him. He still owes me a degree. I let him know that. So, Marcus, if you're watching this, you owe me 13 hours. All right. So he's kind of on that. He's on the fence. Is he done? Is there more left? And but it was good to see him and a lot of those guys. I saw James Davis. James Davis going in the Hall of Fame. Terry Don Phillips and. How awesome is that? And I saw James for a little bit and just told him, man, nobody deserves it more. I'm probably not standing here if it wasn't for that senior group of 2008. And James Davis was one of those guys to step up and just say, you know what, it is what it is. Let's see if we can leave here and leave it a little better. And he did that. So great to see a lot of those guys. Saw Danny Ford, Doc Hoover. They were flipping the coin. I asked Coach Ford if he wanted to call any plays, and I won't tell you his answer. But anyway, it was a good day.
You mentioned not giving up a lot of explosive plays this year. Last year you were 70th in the country in plays of 20 yards or more. You're 4th this year. What has been the difference in that?
Back seven. You know, last year we had 2 games, maybe 3 games where we just busted and gave up some things. But that was a product, you know, Isaiah Simmons. I got basketball on my mind. The real Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Simmons, he's a first-year starter, you know, kind of figuring it out. And then, Nolan hadn't really played. Denzel hadn't really played. We just didn't have quite the depth. We were young. And then, you know, just that maturity and that experience this year. I mean, I saw that in the spring. And in fall camp, I'm like, man, this back seven. We had a lot of versatility, a lot of dynamic guys that know how to play. Very functional guys at linebacker and on the back end. And so again, just being where we're supposed to be, really understanding, and then a bunch of guys that take a lot of pride in their preparation. I mean, they're like almost like coaches. They're so detailed in how they go about getting ready every week. I mean, they're relentless about it. I mean, Kayvon, Nolan, Tanner, Denzel, AJ, and listen, DK, that has been an unbelievable move for this team. This guy, you know, and he played quarterback for his whole life. He just knows the game, and he understands football, and he understands, you know, like I was talking to him on the sideline today. I was talking to him, and he's like, hey, here's what they're setting up, you know, and he's a thinker at the position. And I think a lot of that just comes from his knowledge of offense and having played quarterback. He's a really good player, and he's a first-year guy. But we're just incredibly disciplined to this point in the season, and we just have consistently done that. Again, we've given up a few plays, but as you said, last year we were just a little inconsistent. We've just grown up, and we were very, very good up front. You know, but you can be very good up front. If you turn some guys loose on the back end, you can get exposed quick. And whereas these guys have really allowed us the ability to grow our front up without having a lot of pressure on them, just because, you know, coverage and being able to do multiple things, multiple looks. You know, Brent's is about as multiple as you can be, but you got to have guys that can understand and how to make the adjustments and how to apply to personnel, to formations, to situations. And this group takes a lot of pride in that. Just very detailed in how they get ready, understand the game.
Is it unique, though, for an elite defense to be led, for it to start?
No, I don't think so. I think we have the same thing we had last year. I just think it's just kind of in different places on our team. Our offensive line is incredibly strong personalities like we had on defense. They just don't get put on magazines. They don't put offensive lines on magazines. But we have the same type of stuff. And then defensively, we have the same type of leadership that we had with Klee and those guys. It's just with Skowski and Isaiah and AJ and Kayvon and Muse and D. I mean, those guys are awesome. Chad, I mean, they're just incredibly invested. And so I mean, it's just moved around, but we're talented up front. We're really talented. We're just young. We just don't, we don't have a lot of guys. But the guys that we do have, we got some young guys that you don't have to be old to be a leader. But we got guys that are really talented that have done a good job of leading up front for us. And we got even a guy like Tyler Davis. He's a true freshman, but he's already a leader. He's already one of the most respected guys on this team, and but those guys, I think, have just been able to just kind of put their hand in the dirt and go do their job. And those other guys have taken that burden on, for that side of the ball.
Yeah, but you guys have been in a lot of blowouts this year. How do you kind of judge when to start taking Trevor out, Travis, T, some of those guys?
Week to week. I mean, you don't go into a game planning that. You really don't. I mean, you don't just play the game, and just how the game's gone, or whatever. And I don't even know what the score was. I just know I think he'd had one series in the third quarter, and I just wanted to get one more series, and we protected him. I mean, it wasn't a situation where we were going to run him or anything like that, but I just wanted to be able to get back out and just have one more good series to execute, and. He did an awesome job.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
All right.